John Lennon's death 6 years ago in New York shocked the entire world. We had become accustomed, perhaps, to assassinations, but assassinations of politicians, not poets. This death tore at the soul. John Lennon's music provided the soundtrack for a turbulent era of war and violence that made fact appear stranger than fiction for a man who would sing, "Give peace a chance." The times back then in the 60s and 70s are impossible to imagine without the presence of John Lennon. In a period that could be considered the watershed of a musical and artistic renaissance, it was Lennon's hard-edged music that was ever heard, and his public life that chronicled so many other private lives in a turbulent generation. The private side of Lennon include avant-garde artist Yoko Ono. Together they would grow from friend to lover to married and even harried modern-day couple. Yoko's own artistic yearnings would combine to make a new creative partnership with her husband. Sadly, it would never have the time to reach its full potential. Ladies and gentlemen, Miss Yoko Ono. We're delighted to have you here.
Good morning, Tom.
It's nice to see you again, Yoko Ono. What goes through your mind, may I ask? I was kind of watching your face as you were watching John in those times.
Oh, it still affects me, you know. It still affects me when I see that.
Hard to believe. 6 years have passed since his death.
Well, I still think that John's spirit is alive. And I'd like to emphasize his birthday rather than the December. And so usually I'm just thinking as if he's still around.
He is around. There's
Yes.
no question he's around. One of the ways he's around is Skywriting by Word of Mouth, the book that has just come out by John Lennon. May I ask some questions about you and John Lennon and the Beatles? For example, he writes in the book that you, in fact, helped him to perhaps divorce from the Beatles. True, not true?
Well,
What's
I
the
don't know
story
if you
there?
put it that way. I think that the Beatles, they were together and it was a great group. And I think the Beatles are still great. But at the same time, they were coming to a point where they wanted, all of them, each of them wanted to be independent. So it was a natural process. And maybe we were the catalyst, but still.
But there was never any, it's me or the Beatles sort of feeling. I mean, it was
No.
just a gradual coming apart.
That's true. It was a healthy growth, I think, growth out of the past.
When John Lennon was murdered, did you hear from the Beatles? We all wondered who would come and who would write and what would they do and what would they say.
Well, I think they were all going through a very sad moment themselves. So I don't think it was necessary for them to particularly express it that way.
But did they write to you? Did they come to see you, any of them?
Well, some of them did and some of them didn't, but they all, I'm sure, felt sad and expressed it differently, each one of them.
When you and John were married, and he, again, I take from the book Skywriting by Word of Mouth from this, when you got together, there were people in the world that were unhappy with this interracial couple. Did you feel that?
Well, I think it was a big lesson for the world that we were together. And it was a lesson for us too, that we didn't realize that there was so much racism in the world still. And I think maybe it might have helped for people to understand what it means to confront a interracial couple. And we all had to grow and experience that.
Yeah, he even writes in the book that he wanted to consult with Cleo Lane and Johnny Dankworth, English couple, black and white, to kind of assess
how are we going to cope with this?
How are we going to deal with it? But
Yes.
you coped rather easily and coped rather well, I take it?
I would not say it was easy, but it was an education for us, a good experience.
It's a difficult question. Could you marry again? Could there be another person?
I haven't
No
thought
one
of
could
it.
possibly ever replace John Lennon, of course, but no one could replace our first husbands or wives.
Well, in case of John, I think that we had a very intense relationship, and so that it's very difficult to replace such a relationship. And also, marriage is not what I need now. I haven't thought of it really.
What do you need now?
Well, need to grow and need to experience what it is to really do something myself.
Artistically, humanly, always.
Well, you see, I said that myself and all that, but I still feel like I'm married to John because there were so many things that we did together. And there are projects that we planned together that probably I would go on with it. Still, I want to, for instance, this book that John wrote, and I think that he was planning to publish it. And I'm very glad that I can do it for him.
You have a son, Sean. And you mentioned earlier before we went on, well, in the promo that Sean is coming. Do you worry now about your own life, Sean's life? There are people who are still out there. Do you worry about the safety issues?
Well, of course I do, but there's no point in just worrying every day. And so my feeling is that we always try to deal with a lot of difficult situations, John and I, with a bit of sense of humor and sense of fun. So I'm trying to do that.
Tell me a little bit, let me go back and use a word that you used. The relationship with John Lennon was intense. By that you mean what? Terrific highs, terrific lows, what? Such a celebrated relationship. Well, it's just the fact that we were very much together, even physically. I think we were together 24 hours a day, unlike most couples where they had to go out to go out to work separately, or maybe just the husband going out to work or whatever. But it wasn't like that. We were always together. So, and also we really opened ourselves to each other and exchanged very fully. So intensity in that sense. How'd you meet? How did you, or the first encounter with John Lennon?
Well,
obviously you had heard of John Lennon. Everybody had heard of John Lennon.
Well, I heard about the Beatles and I knew the name Ringo, and nobody's going to believe me, but still that's exactly how it was. And maybe because I'm an Oriental and names like John Lennon, Paul McCartney just didn't hit me, you know. Ringo hit me because Ringo is apple in Japan, you know, in Japanese. But yes, I knew the Beatles as a social phenomenon, but I was into, well, I come from Sarah Lawrence and they were playing jazz and, you know, it was like that. So pop music, I wasn't really into it. But I met him, and I felt that he was an incredibly interesting man, without knowing so much about pop and rock and all that. As a guy, I thought he was a very interesting guy, immediately.
But love at first sight, Yoko?
Sort of, yes, I think so.
On both sides?
Well, ask John, but I think he said it many times, that it was like a very strange, intense meeting. The first meeting was a very intense one.
Yoko, stay with us. We're going to take a little break. When we come back, I'll go into the audience. These men and women have questions for you. I have others. You've been delightful, so stay with us if you will. You stay with us too, please. We'll be right back with more Good Day and Yoko Ono. We're with Yoko Ono this morning. People here have a chance to speak with her. Tell me your name, please.
David.
Dave, what's your question?
Well, I was wondering, are there any other things that the two of you had planned to get done that you still have left to look forward to getting done?
Well, first of all, we believed in peace. And I think that we were very ambitious in the sense that we wanted to see finally there'll be world peace. And I like to see that happen too, and I'd like to work my best for that effort, yes.
I wonder how John Lennon would have felt on the night that Libya was bombed and nuclear tests go off. I'd be curious to know what he's thinking, huh, Yoko?
Well, my feeling is that he's now part of the big force, big power out there, and I think that he's really helping us too.
What's your name, please?
Cheryl.
Cheryl, go ahead.
Hi. How do you feel your role is as representative of the Asian American community?
Oh, I feel that we are world citizens, and that we have to help each other, but not single out one race.
Yoko, let me run way over to here to get this person, if I may. What's your name, please?
Hi, my name is Denise. I'm just wondering, John's son, Julian, are you influential in his life at all?
Well, Julian is now living in New York most often, and he visits me and Sean very often, and we're very good friends.
Spooky feeling when I see Julian sometimes on television, Yoko. I really feel, is it John? Will you stand up, please, so I can get a chance to have you tell us your name?
My name's Scott. Is Sean interested in music, and does he play music?
Well, it's the same thing that Julian had to go through. I suppose I want to protect him from all that now, and I'm not encouraging him or discouraging him, and I think that he should have the freedom to decide what he wants to do without feeling that the world is caving in on him about it.
It's tough, hard for him not to, with those two parents. What's your name, please?
It's Clint.
Clint, go ahead.
My question is, how did you feel about being booed at the concert for Amnesty International, and what was the response you received on your last tour?
Well, I think that I was very honored that I was part of the Amnesty International concert, and it was a great high for me, and for Sean too, who was at the stage with me. And also about the concert tour, I think it was a success, and also it was a good experience for me. And I'm still getting a lot of response from people about it, and all the European people, they say that they want me to come back again, so I might too. I might go on a tour again.
Did you have a question? What's your name,
My
please?
name is Kent.
Kent.
And every year I come down to the Dakota for the vigil, and I thank you for the things that you send down to us. It lets us know that you're thinking of us. But some of the people that do come down tell us of all the charitable things that you do to help others, and we just don't hear about those things.
Well,
let me clarify that, Yoko, so people understand. The Dakota is, of course, the apartment where John and Yoko lived, and people come at that particular time and just around the bottom of the building, and there, so people understand the word Dakota. Sorry.
Because there's a great sense of familyness. I mean, we are a family, and so that I know that we share the feelings together. Without saying anything, I know that we think the same about most things, and so I just want to say hello to them. It's very natural for me to do that.
It means something to you, I take it, Yoko, looking out a window on a particular day and seeing all these people just quietly milling there?
Well, because it's a sense of, again, it's a family.
Will you be continuing with your singing career?
Yes, I think so. But I don't want to make any future plans, in a sense that I want to make myself free from all that planning. And whatever comes to me, I'll do. And of course, I don't feel like I'm going to stop singing. And, you know.
Will you ever reach a point, I'm looking around for people who have the questions, raise your hand so I can see you. Will you ever reach a point, do you think, where you want to be Yoko Ono and not always John Lennon's widow? Will it ever reach a point, Yoko, where it's going to detract from your identity?
Well, I had an incredible feeling about that when Joan and I were together, that I wanted to keep my independence, a sense of being myself. But now I lost that for some reason. And when somebody calls me Mrs. Lennon, I treasure that and I feel good about that. So I don't know what that means, but there's a strong nostalgia element in me, and that's all right with me.
Well said. Listen, there's another aspect of your very rich life with John Lennon that we want to talk about, and we're going to show people some things. Opening tomorrow on Newbury Street at the Marlborough Galleries is a show of seriographs and lithographs. Yoko's been kind enough to let us have a little bit of a sneak preview of this show, which, as I say, opens tomorrow. We'll take a look at them. Yoko, maybe you can tell us a little bit as you look in the monitor exactly what we're seeing. Can we see that? Here's the first one coming up now.
Yes, well, that's John and me, isn't it? And it's a famous one, I think. But he just did it like this, and he thought it was not good enough first. And I kept comparing that with a brushstroke of Hakuin, which is a very important Japanese calligrapher and a painter. And then he started to see that it was just really beautiful. And I really think this is one of the most beautiful things that he did. It's very Zen. It's like a Zen Buddhist painting on a very high quality.
And yet it also has just a touch of the beginning of a Picasso there, too.
Oh, I was going to say, yes, you see, that's why I really think that he's comparable to people like Picasso, and but with a real incredible sense of humor, which is very unique.
Which is in the book as well. There's another one coming up here, Yoko.
Apple pies. Yes. Well, that's our bed-in, and, well, that's really a symbolic of our life in a way, because a life together, that we were always in bed, talking, discussing, and chatting.
I wouldn't pick that one up at all. You were just in bed, talking and chatting.
Right. Oh,
and Sean came from Bloomingdale. Another one coming up, I think, Yoko, too. I think there's a third one, isn't there? Do we have that one, Mark Gentile? Yes, we do.
That's the family. That's John, me, and Sean. And a little kiss from John.
Isn't that great? And there are how many lithographs, seriographs going to be on display at the Marlborough Galleries, Yoko?
Wow.
Many,
you
many?
caught me there. Many, yes. Well, 20, 30, 20, I think.
And are they for sale?
Yes, it's supposed to be, unless it's all sold out.
All right, but they are.
You have to ask Marble Galleries.
We will indeed. Let me tell everybody about this too. Here's the book, Skywriting by Word of Mouth and Other Writings, including the Ballad of John and Yoko by John Lennon. Yoko Ono. Here's the book. I'll show it. Maybe you can pick it up. There you are, Yoko Ono. We thank you so much. Thank you for letting us share in the lives of two renowned people who have done so very, very much for a planet. We thank you, Yoko Ono. We'll take a break on Good Day. We've got more coming up.
You know, if you know your sign and you understand it, it might help you meet the right man. You won't believe what you'll hear in a moment from an astrologer right after this. Can be confusing, it can be tough to know where to meet the right person, but Joanne Lemieux joins us, and she says if you know your sign, that you have a much better chance of connecting with the right person, knowing where to meet them, and also looking good. How are you, Joanne? Drove down this morning from New Hampshire.
Right.
A bestseller. This lady is the astrologer for Farmer's Almanac, and there were 4 million copies printed, right?
Hopefully 4 million copies sold.
That's right. That's what's important. John Lennon and Yoko Ono. John was a Libra and Yoko is an Aquarian. Now, is that a good match?
It's a wonderful match. They're both air signs, and they can keep each other's interests. They like to play lots of games, and they can come up with some real interesting. If I were going to a party, the people that I would want are either an Aquarius or Sagittarius. Now,
why?
They don't call Aquarius gregarious Aquarius for nothing.
Oh, and how about Sagittarians?
Sagittarians are very, very people-oriented. They're a fire sign, and they tend to draw lots of people to them, same as Leo. And so you're always surrounded by a lot of interesting people.
Something that's a little insy, but the man that runs this shop, our general manager, is a Libra, and so is his wife. Now, if you marry the same sign, is that good?
You both have the same goals. You would have to check the chart to see if there are anything else in the chart, but you both have the same goals and working towards
Does that mean you can't get away with anything?
Only with Pisces. Pisces and Scorpios and Cancers are very, very intuitive, so if you try and cheat on your mate and they're a water sign, boy, they'll nail you every time.
You're really in trouble, huh? I just married a Gemini, and I'm a Capricorn. Is that a good match?
It can be a very, very good match. Let me think. For one of you, it means support, and for the other one, it means you can communicate. You can tell your needs.
That's true. I'll tell you, being a single parent, it's terrific to have a mate I can communicate to. I'm going to go out in the audience and let us see what our audience members have to say. Stand up for me, will you? Okay, what's your sign?
It's Cancer.
Cancer. Okay, and you're single, right? Because I asked you all to raise your hands. Now, what do you want to know about your sign? What should you know about your mate?
Well, I am seeing a guy right now, and his birthday is March 1st. I don't know. I think, is that Pisces?
No, March 1st is Pisces.
So what would you say about that match?
That's a good match. I happen to be a Cancer, too. So you're both very, very intuitive. You both have very, very strong feelings. He is probably the more creative, but in your case, I would consider working because you have the greatest chance of being a self-made millionaire and making his dreams come true.
But that's a strong generalization to make. Does it always apply?
Okay, Cancers and Tauruses are money sign, and Cancers, they have found in studies, have the greatest number of self-made millionaires. Cancers just don't talk about it. They're always crying poverty if they don't have an extra million laying around.
You're crying poverty, are you? You asked me for a loan before the show. I wondered why. How about colors for this lady?
Okay, sea green would be very, very lucky, or pearlized gray. And invest like a sea green.
No, this is Kelly green.
Yeah. Sea green is that real pretty, almost a soft, dusty green.
Okay. All right, so that's
good.
good.
And also invest in a good set of pearls.
Why?
Pearls are very, very lucky gem for Cancers. They tend to protect, and they also will kind of give off how you're feeling.
Where would a Cancer woman be more apt to meet her mate? Doing what?
In a restaurant.
Why?
We like to eat.
Yeah, but I like to eat, and I'm a Capricorn. In a restaurant, huh?
Or also on a cruise. If you got enough money, and you can eat your way through a cruise too. Yeah. If any of you have been on cruises.
What would be a bad match for a Cancer?
No, there is no such thing as a bad match until a man proves himself that he's not to sweat.
Are you a single man?
Yeah.
Okay, what's your sign?
I'm an Aquarian dating a Gemini.
Wonderful. 2 air signs.
You make them all sound good, though, and yet there are some that are better than others?
No, there's none that are better than others. A Gemini and Aquarius, right? They're air signs, and they're very, very mental. They like to think a lot. Again, gregarious Aquarius. Geminis, they can do 2 things at the same time and do them both very, very well. And you tend to keep one step ahead of each other, at least try, because you're always doing very, very different creative things.
And colors?
Colors. You're wearing the right color for you.
Ah, where did you meet her?
At a karate class.
Would that be a good place?
But she wasn't taking karate.
You were. What was she there for?
Picking up her friend.
Oh.
A very different place to meet.
Yeah, very different. Okay, terrific. Thanks a lot. Who else is single here that I can talk to? Whoa. Well, let's go over here. Another gentleman.
Oh, we got some
Tom
minutes.
Powell, you're not single. Okay, what's your name?
David.
David. And
Hi.
what sign are you?
I'm Scorpio.
Scorpio. Or what do you want to know?
Well, what I was basically wondering is what sort of colors would be apt to make me feel sexiest so that I would be apt to generate that towards someone?
That's a great question.
Dark reds.
Dark red.
Angry reds.
Dark red for a man? I guess men, the colors are opening up,
The maroons.
Not quite going to do it.
No, okay.
It is your color. Another color that you could, if you're trying to attract women, you're going to think this is crazy. Pink.
Oh, that's all right.
A soft pink shirt with a dock suit.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
I can see that. I think that's a great look.
It's a very drawing color.
Okay.
Really? And it's sort of comforting in a way or something?
No, it will draw women. You wear certain colors to draw in people depending on what you're looking for. If you're looking for a mate and a strong partnership, then for you would wear a pink.
Okay, great. Thank you, David. Now, are you single?
Yeah.
Okay, what's your name?
Cheryl.
All right, Cheryl, what sign are you?
I'm a Leo.
Okay, what do you want to know?
Well, what kind of colors would make me look the strongest, I think, the most powerful?
Okay, not so much. When you wear colors, it depends on what you're trying to do. Now, your personal color is gold, and one thing I will tell you, never wear anything but gold, and expensive gold. Don't go for the 10 carat, 14 carat or above, definitely.
Where would a Leo woman be most apt to meet her mate?
Probably at the club. Join a club.
Okay. Do you belong to a club?
No, I don't.
But are Leos joiners? Is that why you say that?
Leos are very, very people-oriented, extremely people-oriented, and I understand they're great lovers. I'm married to a Capricorn, so I can't.
You don't know offhand. Okay, we won't ask you. Thanks a lot. Let me get over here and show you all Joanne's book. Can I do this? Cosmic Love Signs. Here we go. It's a lot of fun. And I loved reading it last night because I learned all about a Capricorn, and then you've got in the front, really this is geared for women, isn't it?
Yeah.
How to meet your mate. Oh, thank you, Joanne, very much for coming down from New Hampshire.
Thank you.
Joanne Lemieux. Know your signs. Do you chart people?
Oh, yes, I do.
Do you? It's so much fun. I've had my chart done. You can't believe how many things ring true. It's a lot of fun.
Oh, we've had a lot of fun with it. With this particular book, we had about 2,000 women to draw from, asking them when they met their mate, how they met them, under what circumstances, and we had a lot of fun with it.
It really rings true at work. Thank you, Joanne, very much. How about a hand for Joanne Lemieux? We'll be right back with more of Good Day.
East meets West in cooking. You're about to meet a master chef from Los Angeles, from the world, from Austria, Wolfgang Puck, when we come back, and a chicken that's going to knock your socks off. International cuisine, East meets West. I want you to meet a master chef. His home is Austria, but his cooking is truly international. Spago in Los Angeles, Chinois, absolutely spectacular places. I shall attest to Spago, a tough ticket in Los Angeles. I want you all to meet Wolfgang Puck, a master chef, new friend. We're delighted to have you, Wolfgang.
Thank you.
We're going to make some spectacular chicken, aren't we?
Yeah, really simple dish too, you know, but it's one of the favorites of all our customers, like Linda Evans and all these people.
Oh, you cook for Linda Evans?
Yeah, very often.
Kirk Douglas?
Kirk Douglas,
Madonna?
yeah. All of these people come, since all of them live in Los Angeles, actually, and they have to eat too.
If they can get into Spago.
No, we give them a table once in a while, so that but they have to stay skinny, so it's all right.
Oh, my goodness.
Okay, we're going to make a chicken with garlic, and the main thing is, you know, nobody really wants to eat, especially in big cities, you know, a lot of fresh garlic because it's very strong. So what we have to do is...
So you've told it down, that's what you told me before. You said that you can't go to bed with your wife or your girlfriend.
Well, with your wife maybe, but with your girlfriend I think it might be a problem.
And what does Linda Evans like to eat? He said, changing the subject quickly.
Okay, we have here 2 half chickens.
Yep.
And you see, I boiled the garlic already, like over there in the water. You can see a little garlic.
Yeah.
Okay, we have them here. We're going to slice them a little bit.
See this now? Yeah. I'll put the garlic over here.
Okay, good. Thank you. You're going to slice.
I guess the trick to this particular one is that you're gonna stuff it underneath the skin of the chicken.
And also you can stuff anything underneath. If you like ginger, for example, if you're Oriental, they love ginger. You can slice ginger, put it underneath, or a little bit of onions, basil, any kind of herbs you like. So it's really a good dish to do a lot of different kind of things. And also it's very dietetic because you don't need really a lot of butter afterwards.
That's good. Incidentally, people should know that at Spago you can watch Wolfgang cook right in the middle of the restaurant. It's not hidden, is it?
No.
Right out there for everybody to see.
We don't have nothing to hide, so it's okay.
Well, I don't know. I don't know.
Or not much, I think.
I don't know what you're doing with Madonna and Kirk Douglas.
Yeah. Okay.
What does Madonna like to eat, incidentally?
She likes actually Chinese food a lot.
She does?
You know, she goes to Chinois very often.
Really? Kirk
and
Douglas?
yeah, we did her wedding, and she wanted to have all Chinese food for
her.
Oh,
really?
Yeah.
You catered the wedding.
And she's still married, I think so. So it was a good wedding.
Oh, did you hear what someone asked? Are you going to cater the divorce? That's a hostile question. No.
They're happily married.
They're happily married.
At least what I read in all these newspapers.
Okay, right now you're just putting in the parsley, the garlic, right underneath the skin.
Right underneath the skin, exactly.
Okay.
Anybody
these chickens
could do
have been
it.
boned already.
Yes.
Little salt going on.
Little salt, a little pepper.
Little pepper. I'll tell everybody how to get the recipe later on, so don't worry.
Okay, you put them in a saute pan.
Right.
Okay, you turn it on a little higher. Okay, hopefully we don't get burned.
We won't.
And we're going to saute a little bit of fresh garlic. I cooked 2 chickens already a little earlier.
Oh, I almost dropped that plate.
Okay.
Is it true that you wanted to be a pastry chef at one point in your life?
Yeah.
Went for an interview you write about?
Yeah, I know.
Can you talk about that as you cook, Wolfgang?
It's very embarrassing, though.
Well, that's okay. This is an embarrassing kind of a show.
Okay. You know, I walked into this pastry store, and normally, you know, in America, you can't put food on the floor, but these people put food on the floor. And I walked in like I was 14 years old, and they had all these pastries lying around on the floor, and I walked right through it and asked for a job. So the first thing, everybody looked at me, and I think I never became a pastry chef. Okay, we have here a little butter melting.
Butter's melting.
Okay, the garlic slice.
I'm just going to put this over here so everybody can see it out of your way. Yeah.
Okay.
All right.
And we're going to saute a little garlic.
Yes.
And you also, if you saute garlic really well, that way it's not as strong too. I like it when it's a little brown actually, so it gives a nice and sweet flavor, so it's really delicious.
You studied to be the chef? You pick it up? Did you go to someone? Was there a master chef that you trained under?
Yeah, I think I trained a lot in south of France, which was really my favorite place to work, and with Mr. Tullier, he was a fantastic chef.
Where in the United States, where do you think are the best restaurants, beside Boston?
Beside Boston, probably New York and Los Angeles, I think so.
New York and
Where
Los Angeles.
they have good baseball teams, I think they have good cooks too.
I didn't know New York had a baseball team.
Okay.
All right, a little lemons going in.
We have here the garlic sauteing.
Oh, the smell is fantastic. The smell is fantastic.
Okay, and we put a little bit of fresh lemon juice.
Yeah.
So it's very, very simple. If you like it spicy, you add a little bit of pepper.
It wouldn't take that long to prepare, would it?
Okay, no, it's very simple. And you put that over your ready cooked chicken.
Oh, my goodness.
So,
and they're oohing and eyeing. Are there more models with leather coming out?
I hope so, yeah.
Why, you little devil, you.
My wife is in Los Angeles, so it's good.
This is the final product.
Okay, this is the chicken.
Everybody see this absolutely beautiful. What do you call it now, Wolfgang?
It's a chicken with blanched garlic and the Italian parsley.
Now the best part and the reason that I wear the apron.
Oh, sweet.
It is, but I'm going to do something else. I'm going to call someone else up here. Maybe they'll get a chance to taste it. Who wants to come up? Want to come up? Want to come up? Come on. Come up, come up, come up, come on, come on. Come on, come quickly, quickly, quickly. Sure, we're going to eat this.
What's your name, please?
Donna Dietz.
Donna Dietz? Meet Wolfgang Puck. Wolfgang, this is Donna Dietz, and she's going to make a taste. You get the first taste here, okay? Did you realize we'd be serving you breakfast?
No.
With Wolfgang. Do you know how difficult it is to get to spot it? Open the mouth, here it comes.
It's hard now. It's okay.
Tell us honestly.
You're going to marry me?
Tell us honestly.
Oh, I'm already married. I'm sorry. I will forget.
I feel I've lost control of this whole thing. I want to taste too, and I'm not going to marry you.
Okay.
Okay. Okay. Was it good?
Very good.
Really good? I mean, exceptionally good? You're not lying, because I don't lie. I'm going to tell Wolfgang exactly what I thought. All right, Wolfgang.
Ah.
Oh, boy. Oh, my gosh.
Oh, you're still alive, so it's okay.
Forget Linda Evans. Let me tell everybody how to get the recipe for this one. Okay, take a look at the screen. If you want to get the recipe, chicken with garlic and parsley, care of Good Day, 5 TV Place, Needham, Massachusetts, 02192. She's going away. Right? You don't want any more? You don't want? And these two people got engaged right on this show. Okay, it's done. You are appearing tonight someplace in Cambridge. Remind me the name of the
Michaela's, yeah.
Michaela's in Cambridge. People, what are you going to do?
We're going to do some book signings, and we have a party there, yeah.
Oh, I've got to show the book. Thank you for reminding me. Here's Wolfgang's book, the Wolfgang Puck Cookbook. What a clip. Look, what's that? Oh, the paper.
Fire.
Oh, there's a fire in the kitchen. Not to worry, we've got it under control. We've done it. It's all happening. The book. We'll be right back. Oh, Wolfgang, thank you. We thank you for joining us today. Hope you enjoyed our show. Hope, too, that you'll be with us on Monday when Eileen and I will return live. Have a wonderful weekend, everybody. Stay well, and see you on Monday.